Well, I want to read you a post I got yesterday from a Let's Go Help member, and it's a post a good marketing guy like me would probably never should read to other customers and potential customers. She's talking about, well, this is probably the worst thing I've ever seen happen to a grant application, and the poor woman. I mean, but bless her heart, she's still at it. And that's what counts. And that's what I wanted to tell you. I mean, marketing and all these kind of strategies to make your business grow is you're supposed to tell all about the good things. Yeah. Oh, you just do this, one, two, three, and you get the money. Oh, yeah. But life doesn't happen that way. Life isn't perfect. Life is full of humans. Humans screw up. And now that the robots get in between, I think humans are screwing up more because the robots are screwing up. So it looks like the humans are worse, but they're not. I think it's the robots that get in the middle that screw things up. Well, this is sort of a nightmarish Kafka-esque kind of story, and I'm reading this really so you see that it may take work. See, and if I hide all these bad things or potentially bad things that have happened, that the first little bump in the road, you're going to stop, and you can't do that. And that's what life is all about, you not stopping. So put on your safety belt and listen to what Crystal says here. Hey, Matthew. So I am so fed up and disappointed at this point with the whole SBA targeted EDIL. Is it EIDL or EIDDL? Grants and loan thing, as I have been applying since way back in the middle of 2020. What is this? This is 2022. And was rather quickly denied for the EDIL loan and was never granted the $1,000 grant at the time either. But I didn't know so much as I do now, since I've been watching and listening to you and others like you who actually tell us our rights and what the laws and regulations are with all this stuff. And so I went ahead and at the very beginning of 2021, last year, I reapplied for an EDIL targeted advance, both 10,000 and the 5,000. And lo and behold, they actually had already sent me the old email address, a personal invitation to apply to both of the grants. So I did it like ASAP. And then I'd say it was like 4 to 6 months later down the road. I checked my email one day, and to my surprise, there was two email letters, both from the SBA, telling me that I have, in fact, been approved for both the SBA EDIL targeted advance of $10,000 and the $5,000. And they had both already been sent by my direct deposit to my bank account on file. I was so excited finally. That is until I quickly remembered that I had also been, in fact, fighting to get the SBA to also update my old banking info to my new banking info for at least 4 to 6 months as well. And they had yet to get anything with that done or corrected whatsoever. So I instantly called the SBA and struggle, as usual, to even get someone on the line for hours and hours. Well, once on the phone, waiting for hers hours and hours. And so then once I finally do, it is a rude person who barely speaks English and tells me everything which I already knew and had already done several different times in attempts to get them to actually change my bank account. And then rudely states that I am in fact going to have to whatever reason, do it all over again, and not to get too excited with thinking that I was actually be going to get my money anytime soon, as it would take them at least 3 to 4 months to get everything approved again and to update my banking information, and then for them to okay and approve the deposit again. So forever, okay, wait a minute. Ooh. So forever inside all my SBA EDIL site online, there's all of my app info and stuff was under the section where I had once said approved for $10,000, $5,000. Instead, like many others I know well, says error. So it used to say she was approved. Now, because they said they have to do it all over again, she goes to that site and it says error. So I repeated the whole process and waited months and months, calling them, emailing, and messaging them, etc. Uh, get this, each time I actually had gotten a hold of someone. Oh, he said and get this, each time I actually got a hold of someone, even with number 4 SBA paralegals and attorneys or whatever they were, each time they made me do all the very same thing, process in order to update my banking info so that they could just go ahead and redeposit it. So I had up to this point now did this well over 6 or 7 times or so. Then after all this and then some, just at the very beginning of the month of January, I finally got a letter telling me I had to update my SBA application and to go and check it out or whatever. So I clicked on that letter documents from the SBA, and this time they said, sorry to inform you, but unfortunately, you have been denied. Wow, poor lady, been denied for the EDIL loan and the EDIL target advances. And after going over all your past and present info that you have given us, there seems to be too many discrepancies and differences. Well, yes, or something along those lines. Instead, then stated, if I don't agree with the findings or their final judgment on my application, then I would need to write an appeal and explain to them why I think they are wrong and why I think I am right, pretty much. And plus, resend them all the documents proving them wrong and proving me right. But they never, ever explained to me what the discrepancies or whatever even was in regards to all whatsoever. So now in the heck and now in the heck, I'm not sure. Can I even, how in the heck can I even defend myself with something like that? I am, and was so upset, I started crying and just felt like screw it all. So this really even isn't all of it, but I would take way too much longer than it already has been to explain the little bit that I did. Is there any information, suggestions that you could possibly help me with here in regards to my situation with the SBA and all the above, Matthew, or his team? So I appreciate it very much. Please, and God bless all. Well, I mean, I wrote her back and, just congratulate her for hanging in there because sometimes that what it takes, But now, obviously, she was mistreated. And as I sent the message back to her, when the government is that bad to you or something, and they didn't personally do that, but it's a bureaucratic screw up. And because they just go by, data and all this kind of stuff and not personal. So you have to get personally involved. And the only one who can get personally involved, and actually what was great, she called. She called on the phone all the time. Now that's terrific. That's why she waited on the phone, and so to try to work the system that way. When that doesn't work, you have to call the elected official. That's why I gave her a list of all the elected officials, so she knows how to call. And you start at the top. You have 2 senators, and then a congressman. Then you have a mayor, or not a mayor, a governor, and then state representative. But I would stick to the top 3 because this is a federal agency that's screwing you up. If it was a state agency that's screwing you up, then you could start at the top 3 and go down to the state reps too, because they have power there. But usually for the federal agencies, your safest bet is to call all 3 of your elected officials, like I hope she's doing, and they have the power. They only them. You hire a lawyer, no matter who the hell you call. And they're free too, all the elected officials. The elected officials have a reason to help you because you're a voter. You will vote for them, tell your friends. If they get you that money, man, you'll vote for that son of a bitch no matter what they do. That's how they stay in power. And they have a staff that just does this. Also, what's interesting about calling an elected official, they have different phone numbers to call than you and I call, because the agency wants to please the elected official more than they want to please you. You're a voter and pay their salary, yes, but the elected official votes on their salary. So they vote how much money they're going to get. You don't vote. I don't vote on their salary, but the elected official does. So most agencies have special phone numbers for elected official offices to call them so they get speedy service, right? You and I have to wait in the front door, but not the elected officials. That's right. That's the most power you have in the system. And that's why if one doesn't work, and it varies by who the heck you get and all this kind of stuff, that happened, so that's why I would call all three, see who's the nicest or whatever, and just keep banging away that. Now after that, now um, she has still some time to appeal what has happened, and it sounds like a nightmare. Uh, and I'm wondering if she could do a video and put that in her application or something like that to make her human. Say, watch this video. Fill out all the form stuff too, but just watch this video. How do you get it do? Uh, and oh man, so we'll get back to her and see what else we could do and how she's doing it. But it is. I mean, life, we want all the life to be perfect, particularly from someone else, someone we're dealing with. We want them to be perfect with us, right? But how many times have we screwed up? Man, now that I'm at my age, man, I screw up so much more. I forget shit, everything that I did before. So I'm used to screwing up and don't get mad at myself anymore. We're doing it like when I was a young person. You get mad when you do something wrong. But then we all have good days and bad days. But I think the main bottom line of all this is that um, God, you keep at it. I mean, why not? I mean, particularly, see, keeping at it doesn't cost money. If you hire an attorney at $400 an hour or something like that, man, you don't want to keep at it. You lose more money than they're going to give you. But now it's really just your time and phone calls, and send your congressman a cake or whatever, not with a razor in it or something, but anything to get their attention and to know you're human. People like to help humans. They don't, they're not as motivated to help a digit. So be a human, not a digit. You dig it? And if you're watching this and you're not a member, if you want to join, you just go to letsgohelp.com. Okay, why don't I have that lit up already? Well, because I'm a forgetful old guy. LESKOHELP.com. Okay, and you sign up, and then you can see our new grant that's coming up March 4th. It's our St. Patty's Day grant. $30,000 will be given out again this month. Every month we've been doing this now. So you could, if you join there, you can be eligible to apply for that. And the application is the simplest application in the world. All you have to put is, what would you do with $1,000? And you put a sentence, 2, 3, 4, 5, what most people do. And and March 4th, we're going to choose 50 people to get the money. Now another way to get us, if you don't want to do, and that's all on Facebook. If you hate Facebook, you can go to Let's Go Help 2.co, and that's off Facebook, and you could sign up there, choose a plan. But if you belong to that or belong to the other one on Facebook, you only have to join one and you belong to both. But there's some people, particularly members, that don't want anything to do with Facebook. So you could join and get our help by going to letsgohelp2.co. Now, the other thing we have too, that if you don't want to join anything because you're not a joiner, is Let's Go Reports. Okay. And that's where you could get our information without joining. So for $5.95, you could get the best sources of grant applications for your state on all the important topics. So if you want to pay your bills and get out of debt and fix your credit, for $5.95, you get a report for your state. See, it's all broken down by state. That's why we have a map of the United States there, okay? It's all by state. And you just click on your state and download the report and you're off to the races. Or we have another one for business and nonprofits or invention and ideas. So try to make money. That's what that's about. Or education and training and getting a better job. Another one on healthcare, dental care, pet care, prescription drugs. Another care on free consulting on anything. Housing and real estate, legal help. All those reports are available for each state, and a report costs $5.95. I'm trying to do as cheap as heck. that nobody on the internet could sell information this cheap. I just feel it should not even be. The government should be doing this, but apparently I've been doing this for 40 years or more, so I see they're never going to get around to doing this. So I better do it before I'm out of here. And I feel I only have about 10, 15 years left. So if I can help you, let me help you.